بسم الله الأمن الأقدس اللهم صل على نقطة البيان ومن آمن به بالعزة والجلال. I want to address very briefly a fallacy that the Baha'is consistently push regarding their claims about their founder Mirza Husayn Ali Nari, or Nuri rather. This revolves around the so-called Year 9, where the Baha'is claim that the primal point had made a prophecy regarding the manifestation of the promised one of the Bayan. They usually instance the Arabic Bayan as the supporting text. However, there is nowhere in the Arabic Bayan that there is any indication to the year 9. Now, the way that the Baha'is have gotten around this problem is to claim that the instance where the word Qidam, which means it's a divine name meaning the primordial or the ancient, occurs, this is an indication, a veiled or coded indication to the year 9. But the thing is that this is a very disingenuous argument, because where that occurs, qidam, in the text of the Arabic Bayan, the reference has nothing to do with the manifestation of the promised one of the Bayan. Qidam's numerical value is 144. And when it is reduced from 144, it is reduced to 9. However, like I said, this is extremely disingenuous on the part of the Baha'is to be making this claim, because the part of the Kitab, the Arabic Bayan, where Qidam is instanced, the primal point is talking about something other than the year of the manifestation of the promised one of the Bayan. Now, when we refer to the authoritative scriptural texts of the Bayan, namely the Persian and Arabic Bayan, the Book of the Five Grades, the Book of the Names of All Things, the Haykaladin, the Talisman of the Religion, etc., there is a very clear anticipation by the primal point of a Bayani civilization. Now, in the Persian Bayan, there is also an anticipation that there could be an alteration in divine plans. But this alteration of divine plans will not occur, according to the argument set forth by the primal point himself, while the first mirror of the Bayan exists. That the term of the Bayan, the initial, germ or seed stage of the Bayan, will continue all the way throughout the period of Sopa Azal himself. So the countdown to the coming of the promised one of the Bayan, per the text of the Kitab al-Pansha and the Book of the Five Grades, in several places, and particularly in the section addressed to Tahir Quratul Ain, which is under the attribute of Baha or splendor, it is clearly indicated that the countdown will occur from the period of after Sopa Azal himself, the primal mirror. And there's no way around these arguments. Furthermore, the year 9, if we calculate the year 9 from 1844, we end up in 1853. This was the first year of the residence of Sopa Azal and other members of the Nuri household in Baghdad. If any momentous event occurs in that particular year of year 9 of the manifestation, then it is the year in which the Kitab an-Nur, the Book of Light, was publicized by Sopa Azal. This was the third or fourth of the major early works of Sopa Azal addressed to the Bayani community as a whole. It's a book in the first grade of Bayani writings, that is scriptural ayat or versical signs, much like the Quran. So it was in that year, year 9, where Book Kitab an-Nur came out. This is also indicated by Mulla Muhammad Ja'far al-Naraghi in his Tazkiratul Ghafilin, his exhortation to those who are asleep, where he actually underscores this fact that this claim by the Baha'is that the year 9 was the year of the so-called manifestation of their Mirza Husayn Ali Baha, or Haba rather, that this is a disingenuous argument, because number one, there is no indication in the writings of the primal point that the zuhur, that the manifestation occurs in year 9. And furthermore, year 9 was the year when the Book of Light, Kitab al-Nur, came out, a book which incidentally Mirza Husayn Ali Nuri Baha'u'llah himself supported and claimed was a very important book for the community of the Bayan. So these claims by the Baha'is about the year 9 have absolutely no validation from the scriptural corpus of the Bayan itself. Now, the Baha'is also use the occasion of these multiple claimants of that early period, some of whom were not actually claiming to be the promised one of the Bayan, but making claims to being returns of various holy figures of the past. They use this as part of their argument to claim that, in that chaotic early period after the execution of the primal point, that this was a sufficient enough reason for someone like Mirza Husayn Ali Nuri to emerge and to make that, to emerge amongst that crowd of people in that chaos in order to give some order to the Bayanis. But this argument is completely beside the point. The fact of the matter is that all of the documentations, all of the letters and epistles in the final year of the primal point were all addressed and directed at Sofa Azal as his successor and mirror, and that within important texts such as the Book of the Five Grades, the status of Sofa Azal is confirmed, and also the timeline for which the future greater manifestation is to occur is in the distant future, and especially will not occur during the lifetime of Sofa Azal himself as the mirror of the primal point. And where the Baha'is are disingenuous is that they deliberately must obscure the mystical theology of the Bayan itself in order to separate the succession from the one who issued it. And in the mystical theology of the Bayan, Sofa Azal is the literal return of the Bab himself in the station of mirror. And this has been reinforced again and again in numbers of epistles, one very prominent one where this primal point states to Sofa Azal, Anta ana wa ana anta, I am you and you are I. So there is no real wiggle room for the Baha'is based on the actual textual evidence itself. So they have to fabricate disingenuous arguments as they have throughout their text, such as the so-called year 9, which they claim emerges from the Arabic Bayan, which doesn't. So this entire argument about the year 9 is actually a fallacy. It has no foundation in the scriptural corpus of the Bayani writings. It was addressed also by the early Bayani detractors of Baha'ism, notably Mulla Muhammad Jafar al-Naraghi, who clearly points out to the fact that the year 9 was the year in which the Kitab al-Nur, the Book of Light, was publicized by Sofa Azal. So this entire claim by the Baha'is is completely nonsense, and that is the way it is. La hujja ila adiyan qabla nabil.